Embodiment truly is a gateway towards accessing our wisdom. Our bodies hold so much information, wisdom, and are always offering us messages. And I believe that the journey of embodiment is really about creating a relationship with ourselves and our bodies to be able to hear those pieces of wisdom when they are spoken or shared to us. Welcome to the Embodied Woman podcast with me, Rebecca Wilson. If you believe that fertile energy, creative power, and embodied, resourced, nourished women will change the world, then you are in the right place. This is a space to support you to arrive deeper into relationship with yourself and your body, to explore the multifaceted experience of womanhood. It is my mission to guide women back into connection with their natural essence, to become the living embodiment of their true nature. Are you ready to join a community of women who are taking responsibility for our lives, our energy, women who are centered and rooted in ourselves, connected to our womb space and deeply nourished on a cellular level? If so, let's begin into this week's episode. Welcome to the community, my love. Hello, beautiful. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we are diving really deep into a topic that has been a central part of my work and my offerings for over a decade now. And this is embodiment. But we're going to dive more into that juicy realm of feminine embodiment and how, when we are deeply connected and embodied in our truest essence, we can access a place of sovereignty. And that allows us to really live from that deep wellspring of wisdom that is living within all of us. Embodiment truly is a gateway towards accessing our wisdom. Our bodies hold so much information, wisdom, and are always offering us messages. And I believe that the journey of embodiment is really about creating a relationship with ourselves and our bodies to be able to hear those pieces of wisdom when they are spoken or shared to us. But we are living in a world that often pulls us away from our bodies and therefore pulls us away from that deep, wise, inner knowing space. And this is why a journey of reclaiming our bodies, our sovereignty, and restoring the relationship to our physical home, our body, truly allows us to come home to ourselves. It allows us to live from our deepest wisdom and be rooted in a anchored, powerful place that is the core intelligence of our body. And I do believe that embodiment and somatic work is the key to unlocking this wisdom that lives within us all. And this begins by taking the time to build or rebuild a relationship with our bodies. So today we are going to explore all of this and so much more. How the connection between embodiment, self-sovereignty, nourishment, mineral replenishment can help us to really feel anchored, centered, and alive, available in the present moments of our lives, and therefore we are embodied. We are living in our bodies because that is the present moment. That's where it exists. I do believe that our bodies are wise beyond our mind's ability to know, and that our bodies hold a compass. Maybe we could say it's our spirit or our soul or essence. Whatever it is that we put a name to it, it lives inside of us in this beautiful physical body. And when we are present with ourselves and we have cultivated relationship with our feelings, emotions, sensations, thoughts, and they are all congruent and working in harmony together, we are better able to tune into the messages that come alive from within us. And that allows us to live and be guided from this wise place within, to feel aligned to our core values, beliefs, and also to be able to better access our needs and to voice them, to be with them, and to live in alignment to them too. And I truly believe that is living in a sovereign and whole place. But what does it mean to embody the feminine? That's a question that I get asked a lot. And the short answer is it means whatever it means to you as an individual. But to be embodied is to live fully in our body. So what it is not is to be disassociated, detached from our physical selves, to be living in the past or the future, to be disconnected from any felt sensation, maybe to feel numb, shut off, void, hardened off to the myriads of emotions that wash through us all on a daily basis. To be embodied, or embodiment, is the feeling of sensation, emotion, and energy that moves through our bodies, ourselves. It's a journey that invites us to drop out of the mind and sink down into the physical self. So we're not so much thinking our way through our experiences and our interactions, but more in a integrated, felt, sensing our way through life. And that's what allows us to listen to our body more deeply and to then eventually access our wisdom, where there is, we all have a different experience of this, but the only way to describe it is there's this inner knowing, this inner voice that's guiding you with a yes, a no, do this now. There isn't the time for that now. Take a pause here. You need to rest. You need to nourish yourself some more. Maybe you need to be a bit more active. Those wise voices that are parts of us expressing their wants, their needs, their desires, we can hear them better when we are inhabiting our physical body more fully. It is about presence, really, inside it all, being truly, deeply present with yourself. And that requires us to be in relationship to ourselves. And relationships are complex things, right? But to truly be in relationship to ourselves, we need to listen to ourselves, our bodies. We need to hear what's happening, what's going on. We need to honor those parts of us and those feelings that rise. We need to have deep compassion and understanding as we move through this very complicated human experience and life. And when we are living from that place, we become much more connected to the flow of life. We feel aligned, no matter what is or isn't going on in our lives, we can feel this sense of connection throughout it all. As women, our bodies are gateways to deeper knowing. Our womb, our hearts, and our nervous systems, they are deep reservoirs of intuition and wisdom. But for many of us, if not all of us at some point in time, disconnection from the body has happened. And that can be because of many different factors: pressures of life, trauma, fast-paced living, unhappiness, feeling suppressed by environments or systems or family or workplaces that just don't really align to the core of who you are and who you want to be in this world. Living in a world that values productivity over rest and nurture all pushes us into states of disassociation and disconnection. And it's in these states that we lose touch with our body's natural rhythm, her ease, her essence, and her wisdom. We force ourselves to be in a pattern of behavior that doesn't necessarily serve our truest nature. And as we take this journey of re-embodying ourselves, reconnecting to ourselves, we can begin to reclaim some sovereignty over our internal guidance and what it is that does or does not serve us. And that's where we can begin to build trust in our own knowing and then bring forward our expressions into the world, where we're better able to say yes or no to certain things that do or do not feed and nourish our bodies and beings. As we become aligned, if we will, to our body's rhythms, we're better able to honor our needs, listen to our emotions, meet those tender parts of ourselves with care and with love, and also access our dreams and desires for how we want our life to look, feel, and be. And when we really anchor into that place, we can begin to live from this deeper inner guidance where our choices and decisions are reflections of our core values, our belief systems, and also they are choices and actions that pay forward into the woman that we know we are here to be. And that's a really big piece, especially for myself. I always think about the choices that I am making on a daily basis and how those choices are or are not going to pay forward into my resource, my energy, to nourishing my body and my nervous system, to keeping me as rooted and regulated and available for my life, relationships, my work, as much as possible. Now, of course, life happens to us all, and I definitely do not float around in a bubble of peace all of the time because life is complicated. However, when we are devoting time to being connected and being in relationship to ourselves through practices of embodiment, somatic awareness, embodied meditation, we're better able to know what choices are needed to be made here to keep me in alignment to feel good, right? I mean, who doesn't want to feel good? So yeah. Another pillar of feminine embodiment is nourishment. And when we think of that, we can often just think of food, but nourishment for women goes so much deeper. It is our physiological bodies. It's the nourishment of our energy systems. It's the nourishment of our nervous system, our emotional body. But in these modern times, life is filled with stress, and that can take us into a state of depletion quite quickly, leaving us drained. And then we access this place of disconnection. It's so easily done. And we need to be honoring that and also living with an awareness to recognize when we have overstretched ourselves, become undernourished, depleted, and therefore disconnected. And one of the many ways that we can do that is through embodiment practices, meditation, resourcing practices, nervous system support. And the other aspect is the physical body, and we're talking about nourishing foods and balancing and supporting our mineral levels in our body. So nourishment of food and minerals are a foundational aspect of our cellular health and our body's vitality. When we are undernourished on a physical sense, both from the nourishment we're taking in, the vitamins, the minerals, etc., we can experience and expect to experience fatigue, anxiety, disconnection, dysregulation, separation from our body's natural flow. We don't have enough resource in our system to feel peaceful, easeful, and grounded. But when we do replenish ourselves and we're taking in the optimal amount of food that we need, which is usually a lot more than most women think, and we're getting the right minerals that we need, and we're getting the good vitamins from our food with a varied, balanced diet, making sure we're getting the good fats, proteins, carbs, etc., it allows us to be in balance. Our body can access safety when it is well nourished on a physiological level. That can support the nervous system to get out of any states of fight or flight that it might have been in and to access more rest, ease, and flow. When you feel nourished, when your body and your cells feel nourished, you can absolutely fully inhabit your body from a very deep place. And that allows us to live in flow, abundance, rather than depletion. Another aspect of nourishment really lives in our body connection practices, cultivating practices that restore our energy, our feminine essence, and guide us into deeper connection to ourselves. These practices can help us come back into our body's wisdom and a state of presence and self-awareness. And these practices are practices like stillness, meditation, movement, somatic awareness practices, body scanning, yoga nidra, anything that allows us to be with our felt sense and realign our energy in our body. Deep breathing practices all support a sense of renewal, restoration, and calm our body and our nervous system down, which is exactly what we need to also get out of any stages or states of fight and flight and back into ease and relaxation. When we carve out time for these practices, we're saying yes to ourselves. When we choose nourishing foods and nutrition, we're saying yes to our vibrancy, our aliveness, to being rooted, anchored, and fully embodied. And this is a path that requires and asks us to take responsibility for ourselves. And to be responsible for ourselves is to recognize that we are the ones who must make the choices to tend to our emotions, care for our energy, nourish our body, and build this relationship with ourselves. No one else can do that for us. But as we do embrace responsibility, we're able to reclaim a really beautiful sense of power and liberation, because we realize nobody does this for me. When we're in a victim consciousness, it would say, why is nobody doing this for me? But when we're in an empowered state, it says, I have the ability to do this for myself. I don't have to wait for anybody else to do this for me, for my life to change, for my nourishment, for my vitality to return. I get to do that for myself at any time. I just need to choose it. Now, for me, that is truly a powerful place to reside in our lives and our bodies. Embodiment, feminine nourishment are the pathways to a life more fulfilled and lived from inside of ourselves. It allows us to be that sovereign leader of our own life and guide us in the destiny and the destination that we want our lives to go in. So with all of this in the air, I have been feeling really deeply the call to create a space for women to journey deep into their bodies through somatic awareness, meditation, movement, embodiment, reflection, and feminine energy realignment. It isn't quite birthed yet, but I have created a waitlist for this group. It's going to be starting in February 2025, and it will be very limited, 8 to 10 maximum for this space, which is a much smaller group than I usually take on. And the reason for that is to offer a really beautiful container of connection and intimacy and sharing between the women that join. All the details will be revealed first to the women on the waitlist. Those women will have an opportunity. They'll have 7 days of a pre-launch phase before it goes out to my general email list and my social media platforms and shared here on the podcast to access the first seats in the circle. So if all of this has spoken to you, pop yourself on the waitlist by scrolling down to the show notes and clicking the link. It's completely free to join the waitlist. And if by the time you get the details, it's not for you, that's okay. But do yourself the favor of being on the waitlist so that you get first opportunity to arrive into this space. I'm so excited for it. It's been percolating and growing inside of me for a little while now. And I feel just really, really excited to be with women in this space in this way. All the details you'll need are in the show notes of this episode. So scroll on down, click the link, and more information on this will be coming really soon. Have a beautiful day, and I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If you loved this episode, please share it far and wide with your sisterhood and community. You can dive deep into all of my offerings via rebecca-wilson.com. Links to all offerings are below in the show notes of this episode. If you would love to support the podcast, please like, subscribe, download, and share the episodes so my work and this message can reach more women around the world. Remember, my love, you are here to live a life fully, deeply inhabiting your body and your divine nature. I am here to show you how. Hey love, I'm just dropping in to share that the doors are open for the waitlist for the next round of Embodied Woman Group Mentorship. This is a journey like no other, a deep dive into embodiment, somatic awareness, self-honoring and healing practices, the journey of remineralization, awakening your feminine energy and restoring the resources within your heart, body, wombs, cells, and overall vitality. This is my signature program, which launches twice a year. There are limited spaces for the intake. If you're feeling the call, head on down to the show notes in this episode, click the link and join the waitlist where you will receive more information soon. Hope you enjoyed the episode of this podcast. Sending you so much love. Have a beautiful, vital, and nourishing day.